Hi guys, it's Emily from Novel Novels. Welcome to my channel. I do plan to post videos on Mondays in general, but they may appear randomly because I don't want to stick too much into routine. To me, I don't want to make this channel about pressure, but here we go. Today's book is on 5-star books that I've read this year. This rating has been something that has changed as I'm getting more into my books, in the fact that I'm a little bit less inclined to give a 5-star rating now. But, so to get this now is a lot harder than what it was previously. Now the books that I start off with, I read obviously at the start of the year, so some of them I will need to more look at my notes to remind me, because some of them are not as easy to remember, so please bear with me. There are a fair few books in this. Like I said though, some of them that jump out with me. Okay, the first one is The Forever House by Veronica Henry. Now I like that author's work. They're really gentle, very chick-litty, but they're really lovely and really contemporary. A lot about family, a lot about the heart of that makes us who we are. And The Forever House, well, that jumped out at me by the title. I love my house. I love the idea that a house can change us, support us and link us. And in this book, Belinda is an estate agent. She's there to sell the house for Sally. Now Sally doesn't necessarily want to sell this house, but she knows that maybe her time there has finished, and the circumstances around that can be quite sad. I think, to me, what I love is these two strong ladies fighting, and you find out more about the house. You find out how this house has been alive in its time and what goes behind that. I love this book, so it really was a lovely one for me to read. Really gentle after a very busy Christmas, so that was when I read it. The next one is Then Now Always by Isabel Broom. I love this book. This lady likes my review on Goodreads, which made me like her even more, and I plan to read another one of her books soon. This, to me, is about a girl who has had romance troubles. There is quite about romance in this book, but she goes to Spain, she goes to a little place there, and she has so many adventures, and her sister pops up. Now this is a sister that she doesn't feel close to, she doesn't have necessarily the best bond with, and she thinks she's a sport little brat. But the more the book goes on, the more she realises that there is a lot more behind her sister, and maybe sisters are important. Maybe she'll fight for them. I know that I'd fight for the death for my two. And yeah, I love this book, so really want to give that a big thumbs up. The next one was The Secrets That We Share by Emma Hannigan. Now she is an author I've loved. Very light chick-lit author. Again, likes her families, likes the roots that we have on that, and she does link a lot to the past, which I found really lovely. To me, this book was really lovely because it was about a grandmother who wants to go back and find her son, find her granddaughter, and correct some mistakes that she made along the line. Now, to me, grandmothers are important. I miss my two, not something chronic, and I think mine certainly led me to be who I am now. So, yeah, I think this was really intriguing. Now, this lady, she doesn't force herself on her granddaughter. You know, you can't catch up with all those years you lost. And she realises that she's got to help her granddaughter. She's got to help her granddaughter repair some of her heartbreak, repair some of the problems she's had. But the way she goes about it is so lovely. And she also rebuilds her relationship with her son. She gets closer again to her daughter, and her daughter and son getting back to being friends again. That was lovely. I really loved that book. Like I said, anything that's got families in it is going to catch me, really, because my family is the most important thing to me. The next one that I had is Searching for a Silver Lining by Miranda Dickinson. This is a lovely book. Now I will probably rate it 4 rather than 5 stars, as it does take quite a while to get into. Renee is a lovely character in it, and you've got the other lady, which is Mattie. Now Mattie's the younger lady. She loves her past, and she loved her grandfather, but they had a big falling out before he died, and she didn't get a chance to fix the mistakes. But when she finds her diary, she realises she's got to find out why he was who he was, and why he was so strong. And in that way, she meets Renee, and they have such a lovely bond. They go on a lovely journey to find Renee's old band and fix some of Renee's mistakes. And you realise that if you go back, if you try and fix something, some things are easy to fix, some things aren't. But to go back and admit you were wrong is very important. And I did love this. And I love the relationship between the two ladies. I think it shows it doesn't matter how old you are or how different you seem. You can make friendships in the most unlikely places. I'm forever grateful for mine. The next one is All That She Can See by Carrie Hope Fletcher. I like Carrie Hope Fletcher's book on that. I found it was very dystopic. It was a lot about emotions and how they control us. Now Cherry sees the all the bad emotions that people see, and she wants to fix them. She wants to fix these people. She wants to take the heartbreak away, but sometimes you can't. Now she meets a guy that sees the other spectrum. He sees all the bad emotion, all the good emotions, and that actually makes him quite bitter, which isn't what you'd think. And they go on a lovely journey together. Now it does have some quite dark areas. It does have trigger warnings. Please be careful when you read it. It's not always as easy. But I tell you what, it's well worth the read, and I definitely plan to pick up more of Carrie Hope Fletcher's books. I think she's really interesting. And I follow her on Instagram, and my God, she sounds like a fun lady. She likes Harry Potter, so she's got me there. The next one is The House with Chicken Legs. I love, love, love this book. It is probably one of my all-time favourite books of the year. It's one of the best books I've ever picked up, and yes, Charlie lent it to me, so thank you, Charlie. She spread the word everywhere about this book, so I'm sure you've all heard about it, and I have got a blog on it, so please check it out. It was well worth the read. Now, Malinka lives in a house that has chicken legs, that it moves. They go and seek to bring the people that have died over to the other way, and she has Yaga that does that, and Yaga, her grandmother, is trying to teach her. Yaga's such an interesting lady. She's so warm. Oh my God, I wish she was in my life. She would be absolutely incredible. But as Marinka tries to fight against it, she doesn't want to keep moving house all the time. She wants to be a normal young lady. She wants to make friends and be around. But she realises the grass isn't always greener on the other side. Please pick this up, guys. One of the best books of the year. Now the next one is Eleanor Oliphant is Completely Fine by Gail Honeymoon. Now, I loved this book, but it did take time to get into. It has trigger warnings, it has dark areas, but to me, God, is it a good book. It really is, and it's certainly one that you need to read. To me, I love the way that Eleanor says she's fine. You know, she drinks her vodka every night, she gets on with life. To her life is fine. When she meets a guy called Raymond, and they meet another older gentleman, they realise that you don't have to be on your own all the time, and that to be who you are is important, and to say it's not okay, you're not okay all the time, is very important. Pardon me, excuse me. And I love this book, so please pick it up, guys. It's really good. Now, next one is Wild Embers by Nikita Gill. Oh my goodness, I've not read poetry in a while, which I really wish I should, and I need to pick up more poetry books. But this one is fantastic. It shouts out to the females. I read it to my daughter because some of them are really awe-inspiring to her. Some of them are really a bit dark, some of them are really uplifting. But to me, God, this is the best poetry book you could ever pick up. And Nikita Gill, God, I love your work, darling. I think it's absolutely incredible. There was a book about some of the common old Disney books, and they're told in a retaking from the female's point of view. So you've got books about Cinderella, about Belle from Beauty and the Beast, about the various different leading ladies, but it's taken on a different turn. To me, I love Belle. She is one of my absolute favourite characters in the world anyway, so this poem was absolutely incredible. Please pick it up, guys. It's a brilliant book. The next one is The Butterfly Summer by Harriet Evans. Now, I have to look at my notes on that one. Now, this one, I thought, butterflies, great. I love butterflies. This is going to be a good book. But, oh my goodness, it's not what you thought it was going to be. It was a mystery book. You find so much more about Nina Farr's life. Now, when you're starting off with this book, you think, that's going to be fine. It's going to be good. And it's going to be like light, but it's not. There is some real trigger warnings about past on. You realise that people's family. God, you just saw my cat then. You realise that your past again. It's a big part of your past making who you are. You find out it doesn't so much about Nina's way of doing it, but it's the way the book flips between the past and the present is quite important. There are some sad stories. There are definitely some sad bits, but I liked it. I certainly think that it's one I'll pick up again. Next one is Some Kind of Wonderful by Giovanna Fletcher. Now, this to me was my favourite book that I've read of hers. It certainly is a light book. It's about a girl that's finding herself, and she has something that changes in her life. Now, she thinks her life's going down one direction. She's engaged, she's got this, she's got her life together. And then suddenly, it all goes tits up, and it all changes. And she has to really relearn who she is, re-find herself. And I love the fact that it isn't just about romance. She really is important in this, and I really love this book. I better hurry up because I'm already on nearly 10 minutes and I've got quite a few bits to get through. I don't like long videos, so I feel a bit guilty.
We need to go to the park.
And yes, my daughter is up there nagging me to go to the park, so anyway. The next book is Wuthering Heights by Emily Bronte. We all know Wuthering Heights. It's an amazing classic. It's a dark dystopic romance, and yes, I've got my book here that I'm going to show you. It is my copy. I buddy read this with Charlie from Charlie Brooke and Nikki from I Read Past My Bedtime. Now, I love this book. It's a classic. It's by Emily Bronte. What's not to love? I was named after Emily Bronte, so for me the book had it anyway. I've read it before, and I've read the history behind it before I've actually reread it. So to me that kind of gave me the advantage. It is quite disturbing. It can be quite dark. It sort of jumps around a bit. It's not the easiest book to read, but to me I loved it. Rereading it is definitely the best thing. I think you need to read that book a good twice. Charlie, when she got into it, liked it a bit more. Nikki didn't. Each to their own, really. Anyway, but I loved it, and I'd certainly read that again. The next one is Called the Midwife by Jennifer Worth. Well, I've got this book here. I'm sure that many of you have seen the TV. There you go, there's my hard copy book, so it's my own book. Now, my Uncle Michael recommended me to read this book, and I've got another one in the series that I'm going to read shortly when I get time. And my Uncle Michael said to read this because it's from a story based in London in the 1950s, post-war, when the midwives had to do all the work. People didn't tend to go to hospital to have their babies. They had them in their houses, and the midwives had to do the work. Now, some of the tales are really awe-inspiring about the ladies that fought for their children. There was one about a prem baby in there that broke my heart. I thought, if this baby dies, that'd be so hard. But it had me to realise the women at that time, they had to fight for their kids. Labour wasn't easy. There wasn't so much help when people had them, and it also made you think how many of us would probably have died if we would have had them at the time because of difficult labours that are now more common these days. I love this book, and I really want to watch the Call the Midwife series. I know I'm a bit behind on it. I don't know why I never really got into it, but I certainly plan to pick up the DVDs, and I'm certainly reading more of her books. So if anyone sees any more of them around, let me know. Please comment below. Please tell me what you think of the Call the Midwife. I certainly plan to read them and review them again. The next one is One Perfect Summer by Paige Toon, and I've also put Chasing Daisy by Paige Toon. I cannot put Paige Toon down. She is my all-time favourite chick lit author. I love her. I love her work. I don't think there has ever been a Paige Toon book in my books that has got 5-star rating. She is incredible. One Perfect Summer is about the first love. You know, how many of us meet our first love and think that that's it? You know, how many of us are changed by our first love? To me, I've had many loves in my life, but my number one love is the one that I've got now with my great, gorgeous fiance. So I love that. Yeah. You know, I was his first love as well, I think, so that's quite sweet. So that's another reason why that had me. The next book about, there you go, Chasing Daisy, which I've got right next to me. I love this. I've literally only just finished it. It was one I read straight after reading some sort of more challenging books. So I flew through Chasing Daisy. Oh my goodness, I loved it. Yes, the leading lady's Daisy. Yes, it's about sort of a Formula One. She's a welcome sort of girl in the Formula One sort of Grand Prix. She seems like she's a one-dimensional. She seems like, you know, fun kind of girl, and then you get behind it and you realise there is so much more. You realise how relationships, it changes, it chops, but her history. And I also love the way that Paige Toon connects characters from one book to the next. And a lot of the times you can find them. I found 2 or 3. I'd love to know whether you guys found any of the characters, or if you do, let me know. If you're a Paige Toon fan, let me know. I'd love it. I'd love to hear your views on it. Love Paige Toon's work. Anyway, better get on. Here we go. So the next one is Old Baggage by Lisa Evans. And my daughter's played around with my book, so I would pick up one of hers, but I haven't. This Old Baggage. This was a birthday present by Charlie. It is incredible. It literally had me within 2 seconds. It's about a lady, Mattie Simpkin, who was a suffragette. I'm not even going to look at my notes. I love this book. I've reviewed it. I will review it again if anyone do a more in-depth review if you want, because to me it strikes out about strong women. But Mattie also has a lovely lady, Florrie, that's also in this book, which is her support, and you're finding out hers and about the young ladies that are within the book and their stories. I loved the way that you hear about strong women and how they fought for what they got. To me, the best bits were when you sort of look back about what the suffragettes went through. I didn't know half of it, and I plan to look into it a lot more, Please, guys, if you've got any books that you know about suffragette era, please let me know, because to me it's something that really is important. My great-grand-nan was on the suffragette. My great-nan was actually a baby at the time of the suffragette, and her mum was a suffragette. So to me, that's something that strikes out. Again, the past, what those ladies fought for to get us women our rights. That is why I always vote. Old baggage really is a testament to behind that, and it's a testament about strong ladies and that we needed them. I loved it, but please, guys, pick it up. It's absolutely incredible. And I've got her next book, Crooked Heart. I've got that book, which I'm going to be reading in June, and I will review it. So if anyone wants to buddy read it with me, please let me know. The next one, here we go, is Sculpt Yourself by Savvy Lister. Savvy is one of our lovely bloggers on here. She does a lot of booktubers on here. She is incredible. I don't have her book because it's another one that Charlie lent me. But it is so incredible. I've done an individual review on it on my blog. It's on my Goodreads. It is an incredible book. Please check it out, guys. Savvy is an incredible writer. She is contemporary. She's modern. She is sci-fi. She's everything that you could possibly wish for in a different up-to-date author. And her videos are great. So check her out on BookTube. Savvy is absolutely incredible. Please check her out. What I loved about this book is that it's a sci-fi in the fact that there is a drug that there is in this book called lipomorph. Now, that is a drug that helps us move our fat from where we like it to where we don't. To me, it casts up so many images about self-image. What would we take a tablet to move our pills around? How addicted would we get to it? Would we get into it? I really think this is a really challenging book, and it really gets you to think about self-image. I also love the leading ladies in it. I'm just going to quickly look at my notes because I'm remembering their name. Amber, Judy and Kelly. Now, they are all very different ladies, very strong and very important. Amber's a bisexual who... Amber's completely gay, sorry. Sorry, I corrected that. She is a lovely lady. She is so fun. She likes smoking her joint. She likes having a laugh. She seems like she's got it all. She's in a job that, you know, she thinks all right, but she is who she is, and I love it. She's so funny, and the story she says in this that makes me laugh. Now, Judy's another character I love. Judy's her sister. Completely the opposite in a lot of ways. But oh my goodness, she is great. She's the one I probably relate most to. She's straight. She loves those sort of like easy, cheesy lit. She's got her self-images. She thinks she's fat, but her sister doesn't. To me, here we go. You'll see Mia in the end of the video. Sorry about that. and she's great. Now, she is like someone that she takes that drug, and she's quite subtle. She doesn't think she's getting addicted to it. She doesn't see a problem with it. And she thinks she fights against what her sister believes. Her sister doesn't like it. Her sister thinks it's wrong. She goes very up on a high horse about it. And then you realise that things aren't always as she seems. Now you meet Kelly. Kelly is a girl who thinks you think she's confident. You think, that's it, girl, you've got it. You know, she's bisexual, she's lovely. She is a lady who you think that she likes who she is, but when you read a bit more, you read there's a lot more to her. And I love the relationship between her and Amber. I think it's really good. Now I'm going to go on to my last few books, guys, so I'm nearly over. Of my two contemporary books, my kids' books that I've loved. Mary Poppins. I did put Charlie and the Chocolate Factory in my first video because that's another one. But I've recently read this. My niece Belle picked this up for me. Hi Belle, if you're out there, as a birthday present, and I reread it and I loved it. I love going back to our children's books and rereading them as an adult because I tell you what, you get a different take on it. The thing I loved the most about this Mary Poppins book is there are twins in it. Did you realise that Jane and Michael had a baby brother and sister? I certainly didn't, and it's not seen in the films. And there are different stories in this film, so I really loved this book. Definitely plan to give it to Mia when I get the chance. Yay! She's excited because she wants it, but that was a lovely book. She loves books too, yes, you can hear her in the background here. Now, my last two books are... the first one is by Adam Kay. It is This Is Gonna Hurt. This is a book that strikes really hard through to me. I don't have it, another one Charlie gave to me, but I was influenced about this book by a customer at my job, and she recommended it to me. She said, oh my goodness, you're going to love it. And I did. I've got a cousin who is quite a senior nurse in a hospital, and I see how hard he works, and I see how hard he does things. And unfortunately, I'm in and out of hospitals at times because of my chronic pain. I have regular procedures, so I go there. Sometimes we all get angry at the nurses. You think, oh, they're leaving me alone, or why is this way? And you don't realise how hard they work, how intense they all do. And the doctors, oh my goodness, they put such long hours in. I love this book. I think that it's incredible. It's got some really funny bits. It's got some really sad tales. To think about how hard those people in the NHS work for us. Wow, guys, I admire you. I do plan to do a blog on that on Friday about the nurses and doctors, because I quite like reading the stories behind that. Anyway, the last book was Quidditch Through the Ages. You all know I'm a big Harry Potter fan, so I picked this up in a charity shop and I loved it. I love anything to do with Harry Potter, and I loved reading the history behind Quidditch. I think I'm going to pick up some extra Harry Potter books when I go to Waterstone soon. But yeah, I loved it, and I think it was really funny. I really enjoyed it. Anyway, that's it for today's 5-star reading. I've got quite a lot of, yes, my daughter's printing up. You can actually see a Harry Potter picture that my sister got me in the mirror up in that's on the bookshelf. But I'll explain that another time. Anyway, I'm off for today. I hope you all like this. Please comment below. Please tell me what books are your 5-star ratings. I can't wait to hear. I can't wait to hear what you think of the books that I reviewed. Comment below. Press that ding button. Subscribe to me. I am loving becoming part of this book community, and I look forward to hearing from you all. Bye guys, have a good day. Speak to you soon. And there's me saying bye bye.